Good morning, it's Tuesday the 19th of October. When we first moved to live in Skipton in 1981, I was delighted to discover John Phillips' shop on Newmarket Street. My interest in classical music was growing and I'd been a frequent visitor to a shop near where we used to live, which stocked a wide range of LPs. So I was pleased to find in Skipton a similar shop, not quite as large, but with a good selection and a knowledgeable lady assistant. And then as we moved into the CD era, so my music collection continued to grow. This bountiful supply continued when another shop opened on Otley Street, and some of you may remember Time and Tune, which was a bit of an Aladdin's cave for anyone interested in musical instruments or recorded and sheet music. Sadly, both of these shops are now only memories. John Philip abandoned their sale of CDs in favour of more fridges, washing machines and TVs, before finally closing their doors when the proprietors retired. I think Time and Tune retreated to Blackburn and possibly Ilkley, where they may still trade. I'm not certain about that. I suppose they were early victims of changing shopping habits, where the purchase of actual objects moved increasingly to online suppliers, and the high street offerings became more geared to providing a purchased experience rather than an item to put in a bag and take home. Hence the huge growth in coffee shops, nail bars, hairdressers and the like. These musings were prompted when I noticed that the former John Phillips premises on Newmarket Street have just been extensively refurbished and are reopening as another beauty salon. At first glance, the logo for the new enterprise resembles the Rolls-Royce emblem, not a coincidence one suspects, rather a not so subtle attempt to indicate that this is the best in the field. Whether the prices are to match, I don't know. Amongst the services advertised in the window is something described as advanced cosmetics, but whether this is a treatment or a product or a qualification, I have no idea. Now, I am a mere male, and you wouldn't expect me to understand the value of this business to its prospective patrons. Presumably, before investing in the project, its financial backers would have needed convincing market research to show its viability. So I'm not seeking to mock or belittle the entrepreneurial drive behind the new venture, and our town centres need as many thriving businesses as there are premises available. And yet, I can't help wondering, is there a deeper significance in the noticeable growth of the hair and beauty sector on our high streets? Are we as a society becoming increasingly preoccupied with preserving appearances, maintaining an attractive exterior, and denying the inevitability of our inadequacies, our ageing, our mortality? It seems strange and perhaps a little concerning that a town like Skipton, priding itself on the variety and quality of its shopping experience, can sustain a growing number of outlets servicing the way we look outwardly, and yet no dedicated book or music shop. I know from experience that to do so is tough in this age of online shopping, yet I also believe that as a community we're impoverished by the lack of ready, visible access to these sources of inner nourishment. When the prophet Samuel was commissioned by God to select from amongst the sons of Jesse a new king for Israel, a line of outwardly impressive candidates passed in front of him. But it was David, the youngest and apparently least qualified, who was chosen, and for reasons not visibly obvious. And God endorsed Samuel's decision, saying, in effect, looks aren't everything. Don't be impressed. God judges differently. People look at the outward appearance, but God looks into the heart. Well, like most people these days, I have to get my reading and music online. Though being old-fashioned, I still don't use Kindle or music downloads very much, preferring a proper book and an actual disc which I can hold on to and look at. Meanwhile, let me leave you with a word from Paul writing to the Colossians. This is the Message version, and perhaps he would say it to all of us too. Pursue the things over which Christ presides. Don't shuffle along, eyes to the ground, absorbed with the things right in front of you. Look up and be alert to what's going on around Christ. That's where the action is. See things from his perspective. So, a very direct one-line prayer. Lord, help me today to pursue the things over which Christ presides. Amen.